You probably won't be able to see it, but I am doing my most alpine fields yet. This is that weird bowl-shaped field that has hills in every direction. It is like a terraformer's dream, a topographical map specialty. There's not a flat surface anywhere in this field. A miracle that it was ever made into a field by anybody. I suppose if you're raising cows or sheep, it'd be okay. I don't know why I'm the lucky one who gets to make hay on it. It dives down to the river, it comes back up in a bowl. It's every which way, but yeah, there's probably no way I can get you a sense of just what this field is like. I decided to go backwards, clockwise this year. Last year I went counterclockwise and encountered numerous problems. So I'm going down the shortest, steepest section this year because trying to come up it, even with an empty baler, was a struggle just because it is so steep and abrupt. So going down it is certainly much easier this year, and it doesn't matter what size bale's in the chamber. And then the long, slow slope that then breaks to a downhill. Again, I'm going downhill in all directions, which is probably a little bit easier than the other way. So clockwise is definitely the way to do this field. Everything's going okay though, and just rolling hay. I just got real lucky. The bale chamber was full and ready to be tied right as I was coming up, and so I decided to go a little bit further and pull around when there was no hay but a flat spot, but kind of a divot, and I got lucky because the bale started to go up the divot but then settled back. It didn't roll down the steep side into the river. That wouldn't have been good. There's places where the bale would end up here where they can't be recovered. In fact, I think I pointed out there's that bale in the woods that the guy just couldn't get. I would do everything I could to get a bale that looked like I could get it, but if it's impossible, it's impossible. These are big, heavy bales too. Now this is technically hay. But I'm going to wrap it anyway because I'm not paying attention to moisture content. I'm just going for it. I don't know what I just did, but it wasn't good. I got the belt torqued wrong. I got a bale in here that's untied. I bumped the lever the wrong direction accidentally and it just opened the gate. Damn, I hate that. All right. Yeah, I gotta clear up this mess. Getting that bale out of there is gonna be fun. All right, I got it cleaned out, spread out. I'm gonna see if I can rebale it. Chopped hay is a little bit harder to rebale, but we'll see what happens. See if I can make a decent bale out of what I just chucked. It was totally operator error. I heard a tone and reacted. I meant to push the thing that way. I accidentally bumped it backwards, and once that happens, I gotta tighten up the belt. Pressure back on the system, release the safety, close the gate, and then I think we're ready to go again. Yeah, just that split second of confusion, and when that happens and the gate, if there's more than a core in the baler, you just can't close it. Plus, I mean, there was a lot of debris built up in the channels where the latches come, so this better beep at me in success. All right, that's good. We'll tool around here and see if I can bale this. See what happens. Well, I am going to take lunch. That bale baled, and it fine. And I got this last field to bale. There were 19 bales in the field I just did, and 10 in the field I did before that. This rebaled bale looks pretty good. I thought I'd just check the core to make sure it was, you know, not loose and wacky. That actually worked really well. That's a good tight bale. So this is a 7-acre field up on a hillside that slopes down that way. There's that nice bale. Little narrow section there. This section, all of the stuff that's uncut there is full of crenellations that are really dangerous. I almost lost a tractor there last year because of that. There's the bales we baled yesterday, and the field I baled and finished baling this morning. That's a nice little vineyard that's fairly productive. Get over there. Someone's sitting on our bale. Right there. What the heck are they doing here? All right, apart from operator error, things seem to be going pretty good here. But like I said, I needed to take a break. I need to have lunch. I got to talk to Greg, see when he can get here to wrap, start collecting bales, and probably bale in here for another hour and a half. If I can, I'll get you a shot of the falcon that's hanging around while I'm baling. He's hunting the voles and mice that get stirred up by the baler as I come through. He's perched in an oak tree right now. Been there for about 15 minutes. Of course, probably right about now, by the time I try and show you what he is, he'll fly off. Just before he took off. I think he's floating down to the other end of the field. I didn't see where he landed. Not quite sure. I don't think that was a peregrine. I think that's a different falcon. Quite a few osprey around too. Tons of gulls. Far hillside, and I'm remembering now last year why I had wanted to spend a little money and get a different bale way, a different way of handling the bales. There's 20 bales over there, and this is why I do hay over there, is because you got to cross a stone ford. Right now, I must have just hit the tides right because the river is out, and it's been out all day, and it was out most. I guess it was on all day yesterday when I mowed, or whatever day I mowed. And last year you cannot see the ford when the water's covering it, so it's really dicey going over it. You got to kind of crawl across it, and it's really bumpy. And so I do hay over here because their bales are lighter and you're not trying to haul them over that wet ford. It manages to hold the weight of the tractor and the baler, so it's pretty stout, but it's narrow. It needs to be another 2 feet wider for my comfort, at least. But that isn't going to happen. Every year the owner adds more stone, and each year in the winter it washes more away. So yeah, there's 20 bales over here. I've only got 4 across so far. I've been going at it for a while. I really would like not only to have the front grapple, but to have a double bale carrier on the back or something. Or, you know, if I had a place to store dry hay, I wouldn't bother wrapping them. I would bring a trailer over here, load the trailer with all 20 bales, and haul it across the ford and be done with it. Or maybe 10 at a time. That'd only be 2 trips and a bunch of loading. Because this field is as rough as all the others, and it kind of sucks beans. But hey, 20 bales, and they're not horrific. I've certainly baled far worse grass and hay. made hay out of worse places. So, not going to complain. Oddly and interestingly, I had messed with the pressure of the bales and forgot to adjust it for the hay. And also, no, I guess I didn't tweak the size. I had tweaked the size, but I dropped it back down when I was doing the neighbor's hay and haven't reset it. I was thinking it would have been, there'd be less bales here. I only got 14 bales on this side last year, 20 this year. But between all the fields, both years, I got 60 bales. So that's a very odd to have the same amount. It probably would have been a little more this year, but I did increase the pressure. So there's actually more grass in the same size bale, just because I squeezed them a little tighter. The silage bales are very heavy. So that's good. I could have increased the size of these bales by another couple inches, and there would have been maybe a few less bales. But anyway, I'll take 20. They wrap evenly and they store all the same. It's just a pain to try and get them off of here. I thought to grab my trailer, but it only holds 6, and it's kind of a pain to fuss around. It's almost takes longer to put the trailer on and off and load it. If there was a truck or if Greg's tractor could be over here pulling the trailer, then I could just load him and we'd go. But we could take six bales on the trailer, and each of us could take a bale in our buckets on front. Each of us could take a bale on the front end loader, and we get 8 bales at least. But this will work. He's busy gathering the bales up from the other 2 fields and moving them to a central location. I'm putting these by where we wrapped the bales yesterday, so we can wrap them, and then we don't have to worry about it. It's 3:30, 3:45 now. I really need to get out of here by 5:30, but I don't think that's going to happen. I got to get back to the farm for milking, hopefully earlier than later. Yesterday I didn't get back to the farm till 8, and that was a bit of a problem. So yeah, this ford and this marsh area aren't great. I'm grateful that there's that field across the way to hay. Stephen with a rose in it, out of the garden he goes. Country garden in a wind and a rain. Wherever he goes, people all come play. So I don't know what everyone else's practice or policy is, but when I'm gathering bales, I start with the farthest ones first. Work my way from the outside to the inside, from far to close. So, and also trying to pick up any stragglers. Most of these, fortunately, are grouped kind of close. I've got all the far-flung ones, and now I'm just working on the few last remaining oddballs before I group together the last. Makes it a little quicker that way, I guess. I don't know. I could have grabbed that one that was real close. It might have made it seem a little less hassle. Now we're talking. Steinerman's on the job. Got Greg over here on the hillside helping me. We'll see what he does. Does he take the low-hanging close fruit, or does he go for the far bale? Oh, he's passed the close by one. Oh, going for a moderate bale. What technique? Bale spear on it. Oh, textbook case. Perfect recipe. Friday morning and exhaustion has set in. I started cutting the fields in Thomaston on Monday, finished cutting them Tuesday afternoon, raked all day Wednesday and baled 9 acres with 20 bales and wrapped them Wednesday. And then yesterday I baled the rest of the acreage and we got 40 bales. So that's 60 bales out of, I only cut 22 acres because there was some land there that it was just too rough. And actually some of the, there's a tree down in one of the fields that I hadn't cleared, I didn't realize. And so I missed, a 1/4 acre there and a 1/4 acre here. And I realized the rake had done such a poor job yesterday in a couple of the fields. There was probably actually another bale of grass left. I'm just down here checking the cows, seeing if Luna's had her calf yet. She's dripping milk, so she's got to be due. But we're going to let her out today so she can get some exercise. She's been in the pen since Monday because we haven't been around. And I really should be cutting hay today on another 20-acre field, 16 acres. Yeah, so 60 bales out of 22 acres for unimproved rough land isn't bad. Hi, Astrid, you're spectacular. But then wrapping it, and they all still have to be brought home. Now that's going to happen at another time. I do have to go back this morning because some bales got torn, so I want to tape those bales. And there was something else I had to do. I got to go pick up baling twine and some hydraulic oil and a bunch of stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to get to cutting anything yet today. We'll see. I'd like to cut today and bale tomorrow. May just have to cut tomorrow and bale Sunday. I was just checking the sodium bicarb level here in the mineral bar, realizing it probably time to top it up. And I found this little fella. Come on, little mousey. You can't be in there. This isn't a mouse home. A thing happened yesterday while we were both gone. We got a grain delivery and no one was here to participate. So at least it happened unscheduled and unsupervised, and it all worked out fine. But now we have got to learn a whole new set of things. And we got to get a better solution other than 5-gallon buckets under the grain tote. But hey, this will save us some money. It is Saturday the 9th, something like that, 9th of August. And I'm moving slow. Allison's off farm this morning, so it's my job to milk. I'm going to go out and move the lines in the field, but I am exhausted. And hard to say why. I mean, I shouldn't be driving around in a tractor all day. Oh yeah, back panel came off the baler. Still got to fix that. Find a way to fix it. Just going to go move the field lines so when I let the cows out from milking, they can have grass. We sent them out last night and I didn't move the line and they were quite upset. They literally let us know about it for about an hour. They sat out here bawling because they thought there should be grass out here to eat rather than the silage at the barn. So yesterday was Friday. I sort of took the day off, but not quite. I mean, we milked morning and evening. There were still 5 hours of milking and chores. And I went and got hydraulic fluid and baling twine, some parts. I had to go to Lowe's and get a bunch of stuff, bleach for the creamery. So I ran errands. Oh geez, I don't have a knife out here in case I need it. A lot of times I use my knife to move the line if it's hot. So yesterday I went, after I got back from errands, dumped off the baler, and I went back over to the field and moved the bales that we'd wrapped, the 40 bales that we wrapped and left sitting in the field, moved them to the edges of the field. I taped over any holes, marked the bales as to what field they came. Well, so I marked the bales, the location of the field. So in that case, T for Thomaston. If I'm baling Farnsworth, F for Farnsworth, etc. So T for Thomaston, S or H, silage or hay, and then which field it came from at that location. V for vineyard, G for garden, F for front, and then the date, so that when they're back here in the yard, you know, if I go back to pick those bales up. Now this is the hard part about the Thomaston field, is it's only 12 miles away, but the logistics of getting there, all the equipment back and forth, and the bales back now will take a few weeks for me to have the time to go get those bales. If I get them myself, I got to only take them 6 at a time, and it's about a 2.5 hour round trip. So you can only make about 2 of those a day if you're hustling, because all the other stuff that has to happen. And then once they get back here, they have to be unloaded and stacked. It's easier, faster to load them in the field than it is to get them back in the yard. So I cleaned those up, picked up some garbage that I knew was sitting there, marked the bales. Then I loaded 4 bales on my trailer, put the wrapper on the trailer, and hauled it home. Short work day as far as that goes, because I am beat. I really needed to take the whole day off, and that isn't gonna happen. So let's talk a little statistic here. Get this stone out of the field. So there is definitely a valid reason for traveling so far and doing those fields. It's one place where I can get a maximum amount of forage in a hurry. So it's good. They're good fields. I mean, as bumpy and as rough as they are, and as beat up as I am. And yeah, some of the equipment, I lost a tine on the rake. I see some bent tines on the baler. The panel came off the baler. Partly that was age, but partly the rough ground just slamming around those fields. So unimproved ground isn't helpful, but for a crop that yielded the same exact amount as last year, and we were able to cut it. Well, last year we only got the people who owned the field came this week last year to let us know about the field, and then I had to look at it, and then I had to put it into the schedule. So we actually, last year at this time, we hadn't even cut those fields. It wasn't until another week, like the 16th, I think, before we started over there. I seem to remember having to go away for my grandson's birthday over that time when I was letting the hay cure there. So the same amount of bales, 60 bales, last year and this year. The allocation per field was a little different. There were only 14 bales on the hillside last year, whereas this year I got 20. I did tighten up on the bales. They're heavier than last year's bales because I increased the pressure a bit. And so these are 4.5 foot by 4 foot bales. The silage bales weigh roughly 1,800 pounds. They're dense, they're heavy. The hay bales were probably lighter. They're probably only about 1,200 pounds. But again, dense and tight. There. All right, that's that line moved. I don't think I'm going to move the back line today. Oh, one of the fence posts is down on the back line. I better put that up. I don't care if the cows get out there. It's just a pain to have to collect them. So as exhausted as I am, I ask, is it worth it? 60 bales. Well, that's 60 bales I don't have to buy. Yeah, I'm going to have to give Greg some bales for helping out. And that's fine. That's expected. That's part of the deal. And when he gets to spreading manure and helping improve those fields, he'll get more bales because there'll be more bales that's his part of the deal. There'll be more bales to collect with better ground, better fertility. So he'll reap the reward from that. If I were to buy those bales, it cost minimum of $3,600. Now I spent 36 hours thereabouts, and I'm still not done, right? I still have probably, to go collect bales, if I do it in my trailer and collect 6 at a time, that's 10 trips. And that's about 3 hours a trip. So that's gonna be 30 hours of collecting bales. So that's gonna not be so good. So you're gonna have to find a way of collecting more bales at once. And that's just down to the fact that we don't own a truck. I don't have a big trailer right now. All that will be resolved in the future. But for now, it'd be nice if I could collect 10 bales. Although, as hilly as the way, and as long as that trip is, I might not be able to haul 10 at a time with the tractor. Certainly not 10 silage bales. They're heavy, and the tractor has to climb some hills that it did not like, even with 4 bales and the wrapper and the trailer yesterday. It seemed to be even more sluggish than when I had the baler attached to it. And the baler weighs right around 5 ton. So pulls it fine normally, but up a hill it's really beats it. So 36 hours, 60 bales, $3,600 value roughly. That'll save me that. So that was making about $100 an hour. I used somewhere around $280 worth of diesel. So that was about 65 gallons of diesel went into the making of those bales. And I spent around, 36 hours in the tractor. And that's, for a small farm, that's not even a lot, especially during harvest, especially during haying season. For one field for 60 bales, that's kind of not a lot, but it's also kind of a lot. I should have been able to rake faster. With a bigger rake, I would have been able to get through that faster. It would have been less time there. And the bigger mower has certainly helped shave time. And so, all things being equal, it's okay. I'm willing to accept the value of that. It's been phenomenal having those fields. The bumpy ground, though, is what's beat me. Thrashing around in the tractor was not pretty. The economics of it worked pretty good. And, wow, I'm totally set up to milk here. This is great. The economics of it worked pretty good. It's just seems a lot. And being gone from the farm all day. I mean, one day I was out 11 hours plus between driving. And so that's also 5 hours of travel time in that 36 hours of work, because the field is, an hour, a half hour away both ways, plus or minus. And I gotta say, driving on Route 1 is nerve-wracking. Having to go 2 times, that's almost as exhausting as the whole rest of the day, because drivers are idiots. And tell you what, having this grain bin here now is super nice to be able to get our feed. So yeah, and also in that window, there's about 5 hours of work every day just here on the farm, and sometimes that was pushed off till after dark just to get everything done, and to be able to fit it in between milkings and just do it. So maybe that's why I'm so exhausted today, and it's now milking late this morning, and I'm gonna kind of take it easy today, although I do want to go cut about a 8 or 9 acre field that I picked up last week. Late first cut again. I want to get that cleaned up, so I'll go mow it today. Ideally, I would go rake it today, so that tomorrow, Sunday, try and take a day off, but it won't happen. I will just have to bale it and then bring everything back here and wrap it. Won't have, well, Allison may be available tomorrow to run the wrapper once the bales are back here at the farm. But yeah, doing this by myself, it's kind of getting old. The older I get, it would be, I just need to find a way to shave some time off so I'm not so beat at the end of all of this. I gotta say, feeding silage out in the summer is not a thing any farmer really wants to do, but it's helping. It's helping stretch the grass. It's keeping the milk volume, you know, up-ish. Fortunately, we tend to produce a little bit more milk than we need at the moment, but that could change if, I mean, certainly when we're still not saving Mabel's milk, it's going to calves. Luna's milk will go to her calf soon. She doesn't have it yet. But I gotta say, I've changed things a little bit, but the core on these bales still is wicked tight and hard to pull apart, even with the hay chopped. And now that the baler is fixed, and as much of a pain as it was to fix it, I really love that thing. It just makes a good, dense, solid, tight bale. The stuff that I baled back in June is just good silage from, that was a decent field. Didn't yield a lot, but the silage was quality. So yeah, I think, given reading about other brands of balers and other users' experience and the problems that all balers have, all round balers have their problems and issues. All brands have their issues. All brands have their lemons and their stars. But I think I lucked out with the Claas, ending up with a Claas. As expensive as it is to repair and kind of frustrating, now I'm getting used to what it takes to keep it going. I gotta say, I'm really a fan of that baler. It's just great. And speaking of fans, let's get this thing turned on and blow the flies away. Time to start milking.